All right, today our topic is solving systems of linear inequalities. So our essential question is, how can I solve systems of linear inequalities?
Exactly, so you should be writing that down right now. So who uses this? Explorers can use systems of inequalities to determine the rates at which they must travel to avoid bad weather.
Oh,
Pretty
good.
interesting, huh? So we're going to just read through this. A system of linear inequalities is a set of two or more linear, notice it says inequalities.
Okay, so two or more
Mm-hmm.
linear inequalities. So that means like a less than or greater
Right,
than
not
sign
an
of it.
equal sign
Okay,
with the same variables.
got it.
So what's going to happen is we're going to be drawing lines, right? We know how to do
Okay,
that. We're going to
yep.
graph a line, and then we're going to determine, do we shade above the line? Do we shade below the line?
Okay.
Where the two shadings overlap is the
That's our
solution.
answer.
Is
Okay.
the solution region. So let's try example 1.
Perfect.
Graph the system of inequalities. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to graph two lines. But one thing we should talk about, Miss Boyd, which I kind of
Yes.
just skipped over.
That's okay.
If it's less than, and then the other one's greater than or equal to, when it is a less than or a greater than, you must use a dashed line, not a solid line.
Okay.
When it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we must use a solid line.
Got it.
So that's what we're going to do right there.
Perfect. So I'm going to just do this. I'm
Yep.
going to kind of color code so you can see.
Perfect.
Solid. Okay.
All right, so should we graph the
Let's
red
graph the
line?
first one.
And you know, really the way we're going to graph this is we're not going to do points,
No.
a table. We're going to look at what's the y-intercept.
Slope-intercept form. Right
Yeah.
now. So the y-intercept's at -3.
Right.
So go down
So
1,
we've already
2,
learned all
3.
this. And now we
And
go
then our slope is up 1
over
over
2.
2. So
up 1 over 2, and up 1 over 2, and maybe up 1 over 2. And what do you think? Are we good?
We're good. And it's a dashed line.
Yep.
So I'm kind of do this.
Yep.
Oh boy.
There we go. Dash line. Perfect. Let's graph the other line, which is blue and has a y-intercept of 2.
All right. So up 2. Just put my dot.
And the slope
The
is
slope is
negative
1
1 over 1.
Okay.
So we're going to go down 1
1
to the
over
right
1.
1. Down 1 to the right 1. Keep going.
And that's
down
kind
one
of
to the
my
yep.
dashed line, but what kind of line do we need this time?
We need a
We need a
solid.
because of this equal.
Let's see how this goes,
So-
Miss Boyd. Oh, is she getting good at
Ah,
this?
don't jinx me.
Nice. So let's go back to the red line.
Okay.
Okay. So it's in slope-intercept form.
Yes.
When it's in slope-intercept form only, I want to
Okay.
make sure I'm clear on that.
Yep.
You can look at the inequality. When it's less than, like that means you're going to shade below the line.
Okay.
Okay, so here she goes.
So
She's
the red
shading
line, I'm going
below.
below it. Got
Okay.
it.
Now, look at the other one. Greater than. That means
So
we're
I'm gonna shade
shading
above it.
above.
So
So
I'm gonna go
above. And I know some of you are saying, well, wait, that's to the right of it. Well, if you turn your head sideways and look at it, you are shading above.
Yes.
And the numbers are getting bigger
Yes.
above that blue line.
Perfect.
So now the solution is going to be, maybe we should highlight
Yep,
the solution.
I
What do you
sure am.
think? Is where the overlap.
So right in
Yep.
here, where you have red and blue going on, this
Is
is
your
our
solution.
So any of these
Mhm.
points would work.
Now, the one thing, some students are unsure which way to shade.
Mhm.
You always can use the test point 0, 0. So
Okay.
for example, let's look at the red line for a minute. If we use the point 0, 0, if we plugged in 0, right,
Mhm.
you're going to get 0 minus, you know, that's 0,
Minus
right?
3 would give
Which-
me -3.
Right. And
So
then
my point would be 0, -3.
nope, what I'm saying is if you plugged in 0,
Uh-huh.
0. So 0 for
Oh,
x,
gotcha.
0
Yep,
right.
yep.
Is it a true statement? That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Gotcha.
So if you plugged in 0 for x, you got a -3. You're right.
You said we're setting both equal to 0?
Right. So
Okay.
okay. So what?
Sorry.
No. So maybe erase that 0 right
Got
now, and let's show that the right side of that inequality, 0 minus 3 is -3.
Got it.
Now let's look. If you plugged in 0 for y, is 0 less than? That's what I'm trying to
Got
say.
it.
Is that a true statement?
0 is less
Absolute-
than -3. Yeah.
No. 0 is greater.
Oh my goodness. It's been a long day. Okay.
Okay,
0
0 is
is
greater.
not
Right, 0 is
less than.
greater than
Got
-3. So if you look at our graph,
Yes.
notice we did not shade 0, 0.
No. Here's
that's
0,
why.
0. And I'm going to do it a different color. So here's our 0, 0,
Yes.
our test point when we
Right.
call it.
So let's look at the blue to make sure they
Okay.
know what we're talking
Thank
about
you.
here. Okay.
Sorry, I'm
So
going
plug in
crazy.
0 for y.
Okay.
Right there. 0 for y.
0.
And we're gonna
Is
plug
that
in.
greater than
Yep.
or equal to? Now if I plugged in 0 here.
Right.
I
0
would get
plus 2.
2.
Is 0 greater than or equal to 2? Absolutely not. So therefore,
So we didn't color this way.
right,
We had
that's
to color
why.
the other way.
So what our
Got
point of the story is, if you're not sure which way to shade, you can always use a test point.
Got it.
And I usually use 0, 0.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go to the next
Sorry
page.
for the confusion, guys.
Yeah,
Whew.
we got it. Example number 2. I
Alright.
think we have to do this because of the fact that it's not in slope-intercept form.
Okay.
We have to put it in slope-intercept
Yes. So I'm
form.
going to do this down here.
Mm-hmm.
So x minus 3y less than 6.
There we go.
So I'm just going to get y by itself.
Yep.
So I subtract an x.
Correct.
So I get a negative. Don't forget that negative.
Mhm.
Negative 3y less than 6 minus x.
Right.
Now I have to divide
Everything by
negative.
-3.
Ooh.
Ooh, what happens?
Remember, anytime you divide by a negative, woo, woo.
What happens to the
you
inequality?
have to flip the inequality.
That is right.
So now we've got y is greater than
negative 2
plus
plus
x. I'm going to do
1/3 x, right?
Now I'm going to move that so it's actually
Yeah,
in
I like
so
that too.
y is greater than, I'm going to just move this here, so 1/3 x minus 2.
There we go.
So here's our first one.
We're graphing that.
All right,
Should we graph that right
down
now?
2.
Okay.
Yep.
Up
And then
1 over
2,
3, up 1 over 3, and
All
up
right.
1. And is that good enough?
That's good.
Is it a solid or dashed?
It is going to be dashed because we
Right.
don't have an equal sign.
Let's do it. There we go. And notice it's a positive slope, so we're going up and to the right.
Yes.
So we won't shade quite yet because I like to graph all the lines and
So
then
do
I
I.
shade.
Okay.
So should I scroll down and see
Sure.
if you have more room down? Ooh,
It's
we don't
okay.
have a lot of room.
I'll
so
do
let's,
it off to the side.
Okay, so here we go. There we go. Let's
All
do
right,
the other one.
So we got 2x. Ooh, whoa.
It's moving on us.
There you go. 2x
Plus y is greater than 1.5.
Okay.
Okay,
So subtract my 2x.
Yep.
Subtract my 2x.
perfect.
Bring my y down, and I'm going to put it right away in slope-intercept form. So I'll have negative 2x plus 1.5.
And we don't have to divide.
Nope.
We're good.
So
There's our
that's-
other line.
There's our other line.
So let's graph
Okay.
it.
So
1.5.
So up 1.5. So right in the middle
Mhm.
here.
And
I
now
need
we're
to
going to
go
go
down
down
2.
2.
So
So
here's
1, 2, and over 1.
So
There we
you gotta
go.
Stay in the middle
Oh,
there.
that's tricky.
Whew.
1, 2, over 1. Let's do another one.
Down
1, 2, over 1. Is this a
Okay.
solid or a dashed?
Dash because it's still a
Right.
greater than. So dash.
And notice the line is going down and to the right because
of
of
the
the
negative
negative slope.
Perfect.
Oh, beautiful. Okay,
All right.
let's go to the blue line.
All right.
It says y is greater than, so think bigger.
Greater.
So
it's
I'm going to
above.
go above, right.
Perfect.
And the black line, always lines that are almost vertical and
Yeah.
sideways, students really struggle with these.
Yeah.
So
I
why?
remember the right is above. the
Yeah.
left is below.
Oh, you know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You're right. Right above as I went off the screen
That's
there.
okay.
Okay, so
Saying
y is greater than,
than
that means
To the
right.
right.
to the right. Or
Mhm.
it's above, but it's,
above,
the right.
but it's
right.
right. Yeah.
Now, for the fun of it, just for one of the lines, let's
Yes.
just do a test.
Okay.
Just let's do the black line. Well, no, actually, let's do the
That
blue
one's
line.
hard, yeah.
Let's do the blue line.
Because we want to test 0,
Yeah,
0.
that's a tough one. Let's do the blue line. So
Okay.
if we plugged in 0, 0 into the blue line, 0 is 0 greater than,
If I plug in 0 here, I get,
get 0.
-2.
Right.
Is 0 greater than negative 2?
You got it. It is.
Yes.
And look it, we're shading that.
Perfect.
So
that
now
works.
the question I have is, where do they overlap?
Well, here's blue
Yep.
and black.
And
So
there we
right
go.
in here.
And
is
that's
all of your
Yep,
answer.
and that's what you're going to be doing. There's our answer right
Perfect.
there. All right.
Good.
So now we have example 3, and then we'll probably skip example 4.
Okay.
It says graph
Ooh.
the system of inequalities and classify the figure. Yikes. Can we do this, Miss Boyd?
We can do it.
All right.
All right.
So x is less than or equal to 6. I don't see a y, so I don't know what to do.
Okay.
So what do we
so
do?
I remember that anytime I do some points, my x value always has to be 6.
Yes.
I can pick anything for my y.
Right.
So if I pick 0 or 1, that means I'm going over 6.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And up 0.
And
And
then
over
over
6.
6, up 1.
What's
Over
happening
6,
here?
Up 2. We're making a straight
Vertical
line.
line. And
And-
notice
oh
she's
boy.
doing a
It
solid
is
line.
I double
that-
checked.
It's okay. The little jaggedness we have,
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's all good.
It's still a solid line.
Yes.
So anytime you see X and no Y, you're going to have
Just
a
make some
vertical
points,
line.
if you
And
don't
make some
know.
points. Here we go. Let's do this
All right.
one.
I'll do this one in blue.
Okay.
So up 1.
Yep.
That's our y-intercept.
Mhm.
And up 1 over 2.
There you go.
Up 1 over 2. Up
Nice.
1 over 2. All right, and it's solid again because we have that equal sign. Oh my
Yep.
goodness!
Oh
Did
my-
you see that?
That
That's
was the most
amazing.
perfect line I've ever
Thank
seen.
you. Thank you.
Now, what color?
All right,
Oh, green.
now we'll go green.
Okay.
All right,
So,
up
up
4.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
It's weird, it kinda
Down
turns black
to
Over
the right
1.
one. Down to the right one. Down to the right one.
All
And
right,
it's a solid line
again.
down and to the right.
Oh, boy.
because-
Oh boy.
Let's get that off
Yeah,
of there.
go ahead.
I'm trying. It went away.
It's
There we go.
fine.
Down and to the right. So now we're going to decide where we're shading.
Right.
Let's do the red one first.
Okay. It says X is less than, and I said less than always goes to the left.
Right. So let's do it. To the left we go.
All right.
And the blue
The blue
is
one
less than or
is
equal to
less than or equal to,
below.
so below.
Oh boy.
So
Here.
X
Kind of
one.
see where we're going. Oh, I'm kind of seeing
All
it.
right,
And green is
greater than.
Ooh,
So we're going this way.
above or to the right.
Yep.
Above or right.
Ooh.
Oh boy, I think I see a shape. Should we outline the shape? Should
Well,
we?
I'm
What do
gonna
you think?
highlight.
Should we try to highlight it?
Yep.
And there.
So this is
there's-
where they're all 3 colors are connected.
Yes. And
And what shape is that making?
I
Lisa?
would call that a triangle.
I
I don't
would
know about
too.
you.
Perfect.
All right. So let's go to the next page, which is an example for
Same.
we are going to do in class.
Wonderful.
And we're going to go to the next page and we're
Then
going to
your
scroll
video
down a
questions.
little bit here.
Perfect.
And those are the video questions.
Nice.
Now, please look carefully at these. Notice number 2.
Yeah.
It says graph the system of inequalities and
Right.
classify the figure. What you're going to obviously have to do is you're going to have to graph it on your own piece of paper. And then what you're going to tell us, what shape did it make?
Okay.
That's what they should write. On number 2, tell us the shape that it makes. So you're going to have to graph it on your own piece of paper. And with that, Miss Boyd's going to write a little note here.
All right.
Awesome.
Just a reminder.
I think we're good for the day.
Yeah,
So we're
see you
going to see you
later.
tomorrow.